Well, hi, Busters. Welcome back to part 2 of our Bleached with a Stencil reverse dye projects. I hope you saw part 1, and if you didn't, I'll put a link to that video at the end of this one. But that one shows how we actually got to this point. I think it has some good information, especially if your bleaching didn't turn out exactly as you hoped it would. So on this project, we're going to do a lotus flower mandala, get it dyed up, and so let's get into that. Hi YouTube, and welcome back to all my Buster buddies. Hey, it's your big kahuna here, Brad, and this is Brad's Board and Busters, your tie-dye art channel. Yes, this is part 2 of a 3-part series. So originally I didn't intend it to be 3 parts, but I thought, considering we had ended up doing 2 bleach shirts, and that wasn't really originally planned, but that's how it ended up. So I was going to dye one of them as a lotus flower, and I also thought then the third one I would do as like an 18-point mandala, but I thought I would ice dye it. I've never ice dyed a bleached shirt, so I was kind of curious how that would turn out as well. So that'll be part 3. So you come back for that after this video. And this video won't be nearly as long as the first one. All right, so we have bleached our shirt. It's been washed and soaked in soda ash solution for 20 minutes and then spun out. And so it's here on the work table and it's just slightly damp, ready to go. So what you would use is a 100% cotton black shirt. You would go through the bleaching process as I showed in the first video. And then, like I said, you'd wash it out and then soak it in soda ash solution for 20 minutes, spin it out, and then you're ready to fold up whatever pattern you want. I'm going to do a lotus flower mandala today. And so that's all there is to it. Let's get over to the work table and get this folded up. All right, Buster, so here we are at the work table. Shirt's all been prepped. I didn't go over exactly everything you'll need at this phase of it, so let me do that now. So we're going to tie up a lotus flower. So because we're dealing with a black shirt, I've got this chalk marker, and so that'll the chalk will wash off once we get it dyed. So I'm using that to help center the shirt. We'll be tying it up with sinew. And then you'll need a pair of scissors to trim the sinew, and probably we'll need to bind up some of the shirt, so we'll need some rubber bands. All right, so if you have all that, you're ready to follow along with me as well. So let me center my shirt, and we'll get on with folding it up. All right, let's center it up. All right, looks like I've got, well, where I placed the stencil, it's pretty close to center. It's not exactly centered. See if I can't make adjustments for that. Let's see. Actually, it's not far off though either. Let's go just, well, here, I'll show you what I'm looking at here, because I've got here and here is kind of facing up, and so these are the 2 points. So I'm going to try to fold it right through there. It was just slightly off, so I think if I just pinch slightly away from my center line, that looks like that's pretty close there. All right. I think that'll work out. That's probably close to center. And then for our mandala, and so I want to find out where the center of my pattern is here. And so inside here is 5 inches, so the center is at 2.5. All right. And now we can fold that up. So we'll start the airplane fold. So we'll take the bottom, bring it up here. So just hang on to this center point. And when you get this initially folded, the pattern should line up when it comes together here. And if it does, then you know you have it centered properly. All right, so now you know that you're centered here because this all lines up here. All right, so now you pinch it, and flip it over. Doesn't matter which way you flip it. Okay. Just make sure that your folds still stay crisp on the inside here. There we go. Okay. All right, so continue the airplane fold. So we'll bring this outside fold in. Kind of watch all your folds, but then take all this bottom material here from the body. Actually, this is all the back of the shirt now. And just kind of organize it. Okay, so you should have 2 big folds on one side and 5 on the other. And I am going to face the 5 to me because I want to have the collar facing me. To smooth everything out. Okay, so at this point, actually what might be helpful is a washable marker and not the chalk. So let me grab that and I'll be right back. Okay, got my washable marker. I just want to lay out my pattern here. So like I say, the collar is here, so I want it to finish with a point this way. And we'll just lay it out. And these are just rough guidelines. Doesn't mean you have to fold exactly on them. I don't know if you can see this very well. This marker is getting kind of old. All right, so let's get a slip knot in your sinew. And we'll start down here and work our way up toward the collar. And I don't know if you can see it, but like I said, your lines that I drew, like I said, they're kind of just guidelines, just give you an idea. But like I say, I am not going to be able to fold on these last 2 lines. It'll probably be a little bit off from those. But like I say, it doesn't matter as long as you end up kind of with the pattern that you want. But it may not always be possible if you over like I say, gauged it, you know, too large or something like that as far as your lines, because you can only gather up so much material. And see, I'm still going to end up at the collar as anticipated. I just couldn't make these nodes as large as I had originally drew them out as. But it all still worked out. All right, so that's all the sinew I'm going to do, and for the rest of it, see, the back is all bleached out. I'm not worried about that. I'm just going to kind of scrunch and rubber band the rest of this. Actually, what I'm going to do for the sleeve, I'm going to move that down here, and I think we will, you know what, I think that'll look actually interesting if we just, we're not going to bleach all, we're not going to dye all the bleached out areas. I think I want to leave some of this alone. So what I will do, get some rubber bands on this just to bind it up and give me some texture near the mandala. All right, I think that'll be perfect. Okay, so our mandala is tied up and ready for dye. So let me get my dye station set up here, and we will go on with that part of the project. And so I'll be right back. Okay, Busters, so here we are all set up to apply our dye. You know, I've mentioned it a few times that I'm going into surgery, so I'm also just trying to use up some of these. These are dyes are a little bit older, and I just need to use up as much as I can of them, because probably after this video I'll wash out all these bottles and get everything put away for the duration of my rehab and after my surgery. So I need to use up some of this right now. Okay, Busters, so my dyes are all ready. So let me go over all the colors that I'm going to be using. Like I said, trying to use up as much as I can. I'm going to tell them to you in order, and that's the order I'll be applying them on the shirt. And I'll probably just use each color once because I've got that many that I can use, you know, get some use out of all of them. So starting with, and it'll be starting down here, but we're going to start with light red, Chinese red, soft orange, bright yellow, lime pop, bright green, robin's egg blue, turquoise, azure blue, lilac, and deep purple. And so we'll start here, like I said, with the light red, come up here with the purple, and then I may just sprinkle a few of the other colors randomly up in this area. Okay, enjoy the music. Let's get going. Okay, Busters, that's all the dye. So now this will go in the curing tub for 24 hours. And then after that, I'll take it to the laundry sink. We'll rinse it out, start with a cold water rinse to flush out the soda ash. And then I'll turn it up to hot to flush out any dye that hasn't bonded with the fabric yet. And then after it's running pretty clear in the laundry sink, I will put this in a hot water wash with detergent and Synthropol, which is a professional textile detergent that you can pick up in my affiliate links down below. And after it's all washed and dried, we'll bring it back here for the reveal on our first reverse dyed, bleached out stencil. So let's see how this one turns out. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you at the reveal. All right, all my dude and dudettes. So here is our lotus flower mandala on our bleached out shirt. Colors came out great. It looks really cool. I love the outside kind of colors. Even though I took great pains on trying to get the mandala centered in the blacked out part of the shirt where the stencil was, still managed not to quite hit the center. But beyond that, it looks really great on here. I mean, the whole thing is nice and colorful. Yeah, I love it. I think it came out really good. This was a great success. Like I say, using all the old dyes, everything just looks really good. Yeah, hey, I hope you like it. Give me a thumbs up if you think this is cool. Share it around if you think it's worthy of that. Tell your friends about it. And, you know, you've made it to the end of this video. If you like what you saw, go ahead and subscribe. Don't forget to ring that notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Oh, and the other thing, in part one, you saw me use the airbrush paint to kind of repair the stenciled out part where the bleach crept under, and then you saw me use the heat press to set that paint. I will put in my affiliate links a link to that heat press if you want to pick up one. They're really helpful for lots of other projects with shirts if you're dealing with paint, or even like if you have a Cricut cutter and you want to do some sort of heat set vinyls on shirts, then they're great for that too. And this model that I have is really good. So I'll put a link to that in my affiliate links. If you want one, go pick it up. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does help out my channel. All right. I think this was a real winner. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching. Peace out, baby, and go have fun tie-dyeing.